Hello, everyone. Welcome to Twillow Talk. Yeah, so we had some technical difficulties. We're all laughing about it still. So I'm Tanis Coughlin from the Twillow Lifestyle Community Lifestyle Academy. We've already done the first part of the show, so we're going to now do it for you.
Right.
So,
Oh my God.
welcome to the show. I'm joined by my
Thanks for your patience, guys. Thank you. You're waiting for us.
Yes, thank you for waiting. We appreciate it.
Woosah, woosah.
I'm glad you made it, Kaylee. Thanks.
These things happen with lives.
Ooh. All right.
Welcome to my discombobulated world. And and so the forecast is much like that. In fact, Jen's forecast that she just gave was really very much about that with the transit. And so yeah, and we have a Schumann
Make me
resonance
laugh
of
when I drink my coffee. Wow.
So it was great. It's too bad you missed it.
And take two.
Okay, well, I will show you the whole like Schumann resonance. It's okay. I was really stuffy the first time around anyway. So here we go. We have
And now you'll be good.
And we have a blackout erased. And I actually said things that make you go, Apparently there was more to go, about than just the weather. Anyway, in terms of KPI, and we've had a few yellows, but nothing too major. And the solar flares have been fairly quiet in the last little bit. So Jen.
I don't know.
I don't know anymore, right?
Let's do this again. Cole's Notes version.
Lady Daniela is wondering what the joke is. The joke is, okay, I'm going to come clean. I forgot to put go live. So we were going along doing all of this stuff, and yeah, it was great.
So funny. So I have to go on my Facebook every time we go live, and I have to change it because for whatever reason, it always makes it private. So I have to go in and make it public in order for it to show up. And it wasn't showing up as live. And I'm thinking, oh, what is going on? Maybe my thing isn't connected. Maybe, something's right. But then it was time to do the transit. So I was like, all right, I'm going to stop trying to figure this out. I didn't even realize that we weren't actually live.
So we did your whole weather forecast. We did all the transits. We introduced ourselves and everything, and you guys missed it. So,
well, this time I have my card out and ready because I didn't.
Oh yeah, she didn't have hers ready, and I was really stuffy. So, I'm much more relaxed now. And poor Jason is just along for the ride. So welcome to Jason Albertson, who's getting quite an initiation into the Twillow.
Into the chaos of authentic conversation.
That is what we're all about, is authentic conversation. So there you go. There's the authenticness from behind the scenes.
All right. So where are we at for these transits? All right, guys.
She's going to say that we are not... that we are in disorientation or something. So I'm just going to say I'm discombobulated from the transits. Go ahead, Jen.
Yeah. So yesterday, and then of course for about 6 days, we went into gate 2 or gene key 2. This is the receptive. It's about higher knowing. It's the driver. So where the first is the divine masculine, now we're in the divine feminine energy. And this is the energy that moves us from the shadow of dislocation to the sit here enlightened state of unity through the gift of orientation. And Richard Rudd, when he talks about this, he talks about how orientation is able to create a torus of energy around us. And that helps us to be able to trust in the experiences that we're having. And that includes the difficult experiences. And so this is about trust being built into us at a cellular level, right? This is a full kind of transmutation that can happen during this time. And what ends up happening as we're going through it is we're being asked to connect with that higher purpose, connect with that higher knowing, in order to be able to align ourselves with the natural flow that is unfolding, right? And so we know that there are all these natural cycles of life. And so often in the world that we live in, we get told to go, 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 do, push, 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 all of those kinds of things. And this gate is really getting us to a place where we go, no, that's not for me, right? I'm not going to force these things to happen. I want to be in alignment. I want to be in flow. And so by connecting with that higher knowing, we actually have to surrender. And we have to surrender and be open, right? You know, my favorite thing, open and curious. We have to be able to do that, holding space for attention to the process without the mind needing to control it. So as we're moving through this energy, a big part of what we're being asked to do is to notice those moments when we feel that dislocation, right? This can manifest as uncertainty. It can come in regarding our role, our lack of direction, this needing to push, feeling like, maybe we feel like we have to overcompensate by trying too hard. And so if we feel those energies coming in, or we feel like that's coming up for us, this is where we take that step back. And as we take that step back, we're able to transmute that shadow of dislocation into the gift of orientation, right? That's able to emerge from us, because it's going to allow us to naturally align with our true purpose. And that's going to be guided by our inner compass, right? So also the gate 2 is in the G center. That's love and direction and identity. And that's the energy that's supposed to help guide us. This is where, in human design, we talk about the magnetic monopole. I like to think of that really as that higher self connection. And so this is the energy that's supposed to be our compass, our guide. And so being able to honor that will help us move towards unity, which is the siddhi, or the enlightened state of this energy. And so, yeah, I think that's the Coles notes. That's also probably different than I said last time, but you guys don't know that, so. But it's the same.
It was pretty close.
It's pretty close.
We can attest to that. It was pretty close. Yeah.
I like take 2 though.
Good stuff. So
let's say hello to a few people that were patient enough to wait for us. We went through our little thing today. So we have Pogo Pogo. Hey, Kaylee.
hello.
Welcome. And we have Lady Danielle Zana. Welcome,
Hello.
welcome. Project Contact. Hello, hello. And of course, we have this would be our guest. Hello, hello.
Yay.
Welcome, welcome. And where are we at here? We also have Mary Alice Waters. So hello, everyone, she says. Great, hello. And we have Mark on. Hey, Mark. Thanks for joining us. So our guest today, Jason Albertson. How about you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I grew up in a small town, Millville, Pennsylvania, probably 500 people at the time. Blinking red light in the middle of town, no other lights in town. Then when I was growing up, I always had like different experiences. They were slight at first. One was things just kept happening in my bedroom. It was just my room in the house that was weird. It had a weird energy to it.
Okay.
Every time I would go to sleep or try to go to sleep, it was like a bubble went around my room and I'm in Alice in Wonderland. Like,
how old would you have been when that started, do you think?
About 7, 8 years old. I remember My dad still yells at me today that him and my mom had to low crawl out of my bedroom because they used to sleep in there at night. I made them. After seeing all that, I'm like, you're not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
then they didn't believe me. So I was like, okay, well, then you're going to stay in here and see it with me.
Yeah.
Well, eventually, you know, they'd low crawl out of the room, whatever, and I'd be there and by myself, and it would happen. And it's almost like you wake up from a dream and you think you're woken up, but you're not. Everything is the same. It looks the same in your bedroom, but you're not. You're still in your dream. I was just amazed. Saw this. First, I saw this mechanical eye. If you've ever seen War of the Worlds, the new one with the mechanical eyeball that looks like it has like a mechanical thing that comes with it, I swear on a stack of Bibles, that's what it looked like. I swear to God. It came out, it looked at me, I screamed, and it went whoop right underneath my bed. My parents came in, looked underneath my bed, it's gone. I'm like, okay. Then I wake up and I'm looking around my room thinking I'm out of my dream. And this 8, 9, 10-foot cobra comes out of my same place, out from underneath of my bed. And just this giant face is looking at me. And I just scream. My parents come in. Here, my dad tells me, and I yell at him now. He goes, "Oh yeah, we kind of knew about that stuff going on there." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What do you mean you knew?" He's like, "Well, we saw things too, and we didn't want to scare you, so we didn't say anything." I'm like, "Okay, awesome." So you told me that I was imagining things at the same time that you were seeing things yourself. Great. Great way to make a kid think that he's crazy, right? So,
It sounds like some parental denial in terms of some of that
exactly.
stuff,
I
right?
mean,
You think, well, maybe I'm going crazy and that's why I'm seeing it. So
exactly.
yeah.
And just like voices, like automatic writing. I've had I would draw these symbols that just would amaze people that I knew, but I was like, I don't even know what they are, but I have no idea what these things are. They just come in my head and I just start drawing. I have notebooks of these things and I don't know what they are. I look them up and somebody told me ancient Egyptian Enochian. And I was like, okay. So I start researching a little bit and learning a little bit more. But getting off topic though, going in the line here. When I was 16, I was actually abducted by a living spaceship. The spaceship was alive. It communicated with me that, and my mother was there as well. She witnessed the whole thing. We went outside for a cigarette. It was 6:30 at night. My dad had a rule. I will allow you to smoke. You will not smoke in my house. Done. So I went outside with my mother and I had a cigarette. It was 6:30. We walked out, saw the clock as we walked out, had this little porch, no bigger for like 2 people, 3 people, outside the front door. And we're sitting out there and we see this light. It's above the hill. I'm like, I start laughing. I'm like, oh, look, Mom, it's the police. It's, they're looking for somebody. It's, haha. Yeah, haha. Then immediately it goes from about 3-4 miles away to directly above our heads. And we're looking at this thing and I couldn't see what it looked like because it was just a blinding light that hit us. I had like all this energy around my body, could not describe that at all. It's like my DNA itself was vibrating, and I could feel it. I woke up and I'm on this table that there is no table there. I'm on something, but there's no table. It's see-through. I'm like, I'm feeling it, I'm touching it, I'm knocking on it, but I can see right through it. I'm like, okay. All right, I'm dreaming. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I get up, I start walking around. I look at the hallway. I'm like, all right, cool. Go to the hallway. Put my hand on the side of the hallway like this, and I look around. As soon as I put my hand on the hallway, if you put your finger on the inside of your mouth, all that gooiness, that liquid, organic kind of stuff, that's what I felt on that hallway. I was like, what is this? Look down the hallway. I see two little gray beings down the hallway. They're taking my mother down an elevator shaft. And then I just feel myself being pulled back and I snap. And like not snap, but I snapped out of it. And now me and my mother are right back on the ground, right back where we were. The one cigarette we brought outside was still in our hand. We put it out. Remember, I only brought one.
Mhm.
Go inside. My mom starts yelling at me. Go to bed. Go to bed. Time for bed. School in the morning. I'm like, it's 6:30. I'm not going to bed yet. It's 8:30.
Wow.
Like, and my mom is standing out there, and as she's saying that, she's staring at the clock, just staring at it. And I'm like, Mom, we went out at 6:30. She said, I know. I'm trying to figure out if your dad is messing with us. And I said, I don't think he is. We went in the living room. My dad's asleep on the couch. I'm like, okay. Put that in the back of my head. Went to sleep. Didn't think anything of it. Joined the military at 17. I saw the Twin Towers actually happen live on my television screens in my classroom. I went to the Columbia Montour Area Vocational Technical School and did computer programming, C++, HTML, Vermal, anything for computers, computer repair, software. I did it all. Really into that. So after I get into and I see these monitors come on in my computer room, I'm seeing the Twin Towers happen. Everybody's like, it's a movie, it's a movie. I'm like, that does not look like a movie to me. Well, a little bit emotional for me, but one of my friends were in the Twin Tower.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So after I saw the Twin Towers happen, I decided that was never going to happen again on my watch. That if I had the power to stop it, I would. So, excuse me, sorry.
No, it's okay.
So then I joined the military. I went first and I decided to go into chemical weapons specialist. Chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear weapons of mass destruction. Anything that could be made into a weapon that someone can get their hands on, chemical, biological, nuclear, that's what I did. I disarm, I would find, recon, decon troops that come in and out. I would also do anything like, as far as in Iraq, when we went to Iraq, excuse me, we went to Iraq. I was, that was in 2006 and 2007. I was assigned to the 130th Combat Engineer Brigade out of Hanau, Germany. We were under INSCOM, which is pretty much military intelligence. That's what we fell under. When we went down to Iraq, it's a whole different animal. I can tell your audience for a fact that 199% there was no chemical weapons in Iraq. Period. That has been solved. That is over. That conversation doesn't happen, because I was there. I looked for it. I didn't find it. Did not find it. We found a bunch of empty containers that had nothing in them.
Mm.
Now, if anybody wants to know the real reason why we were there, when I was in Iraq in 2006, 2007, I was also working for different SAP programs, secret access, compartmentalized programs that we do occasionally. Some are black, some are white, meaning some are off the books, some are on the books. I was on one that was on the books. We had oversight. We had people looking over the program. We had congressmen that looked at the program while we were on it, while we were evaluating it, everything. The program that I was in, I can't really talk about fully. The only thing I can say is that it dealt with signal defeating technology. Somebody sits there and has you're on a convoy, you're going down the road, and they have an I can't say that. They have I know what I can't say.
That's
I know
good.
what I can't say. They have a teddy bear under the road. There we go. They have a teddy bear under the road. Everybody knows what that is. And the teddy bear has a antenna on it. And they're about 5 miles away, and they push the button, and the teddy bear is not there anymore. That is what I was dealing with, defeating them from doing that.
Right.
We succeeded completely. 100% we succeeded. So the work that I dealt with saving troops' lives in combat situations.
Yeah, which is great. Saving lives is always a good
Yeah.
thing. Did you get to use any of your skills over there, your intuitive skills? Because obviously you're intuitive with the stuff that happened to you when you were a kid. Were you involved in any of the stuff related to that?
Yes, we had a couple of different studies into the aspects of mental communication.
Mm-hmm.
There was a PSYOP unit. Now, this would be secondhand knowledge. Not, I heard it from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't in this unit, but as far as I know, they were doing psychological operations in Iraq in a combat situation to try to get these remote viewers to find where the enemy locations were.
Right.
We've done it plenty of times. We've had an 85% success rate.
Mm-hmm.
We go there 85% of the time, you're finding something.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not, a boom boom stick, or if it's not something else, then, it could be anything, But yeah, that's pretty much what I did down there as far as that. But the secondhand knowledge came from somebody in the program over there. Then they also said they were trying to also, and here's the thing. Now, if they could do this, they were trying it. It was hazy. It would work and it wouldn't work. They didn't want collateral damage, so we nixed the program. Communicating mentally from ground to a gun, boom boom plane in the sky. And if they can do that, then the remote viewer can find the enemy location, transmit the enemy location to the plane, And that plane can take out the enemy location without any troops being involved.
So it's fascinating that the remote viewers are getting involved in that sort of thing and stuff, right? That they're able to have that ability.
It's also a good thing because
If it can save lives, it's a good
yes,
thing.
yes, that's exactly my point. If you have, I don't agree totally with the drone technology. Now, it can be hacked. It can be this. It can be that. I don't believe anybody's been able to successfully hack a transmission from one remote viewer to another.
I don't think so. I've heard some interesting stories, particularly about Area 51. I just watched something about a remote viewer in Area 51. She was saying that she had tried. Had tried to go in there, and she actually was. There was a remote viewer team there that actually stopped her. Again, this is just what I saw on the internet. Right? So just take that as a grain of salt.
The internet.
The internet. And so, but she saw that there was this remote viewer that came up behind her and escorted her out, her consciousness. And I thought, wow, that's impressive. So they've got like multi-level stuff on Area 51.
And they also have now. What's not known also is now. Do you remember when Hal Puthoff had done the Gateway program and everything and started to do all that? Yeah. There's one thing that wasn't fully vetted, but there was one person that went into one of their facilities and was walking around in their facility, was able to open a filing cabinet, read the file like he was right there. He was not found after that. Then
so he was bilocating them?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Then now they have what's called psychic dampening technology around all of their facilities. At least the underground, the ones they don't want you to know about.
The black.
Guarantee you. It's pretty much a picture like a bubble of white noise around an area, and they funnel it through insulators all the way around the building. So if it's white noise and you're trying to break through, you can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a couple of interesting comments with all of this too. There's been some talk here about some of the things in people's houses and that sort of thing. As for on what we're chatting about here is police have employed psychics to find missing people. Yep. I actually have had some interesting experiences where that's concerned.
And to solve crimes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a fascinating field, and they were saying that's real. I think that was when you were talking about the remote viewers and the technology.
Oh yeah.
There's the counter.
Yeah.
To counter psychics. So yeah. So we actually have some interesting space stuff. He has provided some photos that I would really love to share if you guys are up for that. Do you want to talk about that since we're sort of on the Area 51? It's kind of a fun one to look at.
Why not?
All right. So do you want to talk us through some of these?
All right. So a buddy of mine when I went to Nevada, Las Vegas, a buddy of mine and me, he's a pilot. And that's why there's a box at every one of these pictures at the bottom, because I can't put his picture in there.
Yes, obviously.
Then all of a sudden, he tells me, oh, I'm going to try this run again. You want to come with me? I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not? What run? He's like, I'm going to try to land at Area 51 again. I'm like, there's no way they're going to let you. He's like, no, they don't, but I can ask. And they just divert you. I'm like, okay. So we went. I went, I was like, okay, cool. Well, they didn't divert him. They did not divert him. He was actually going to land on the runway.
Wow.
And, he was given coordinates to land. He was given given destination, everything to land and direction and all that. And we were about to land on Area 51. And then they saw the plane come in. They were like, divert. Wrong communication for wrong pilot or something like that. We were already right next to him. I was like, oh man, they're diverting us. He goes, get that camera out that window. I was like, all right. So I took pictures of the entire Area 51 base from the sky, from about 300 feet off the ground, 400 feet off the ground.
Wow.
So these are some of those pictures.
There's the monolith right there, far right. I told you.
Right over here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody says that that's new. It is not new. That was back in 2017.
Yeah, there we go.
2017.
Right,
that monolith in Area 51 is not new. It's been there. They just moved it.
Yep. There it is.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I took pictures all the way through.
And what are we looking at here?
Different building sites. You
Okay.
can zoom in if you want. They're just different sites, different buildings around the area. Right there. Now, from the air, right, they actually didn't even want satellite imagery to get a hold of that location right there. They planted trees all around the building.
Oh, that's what's in here then.
Yes, that's trees.
Okay.
All around the building. I don't know what building that is.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's the mountain site up there where I had the pointer. That's the underground entrance into the mountain site.
Right here.
Yep. Right there where the pointer is. Yep.
Fascinating. How big would you say that area is then? I haven't
Oh,
done
it's
the
huge.
research on that.
It's huge, and they're expanding. Cool. I had to guess about maybe 1,000, 1,400 nautical miles or miles.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is. Because, I mean, you look at satellite imagery and stuff like that, and they blur so much so that we're not able to get a clear idea of what's anywhere, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's only when you zoom in do you actually find the fine details.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You do have a question here.
Oh, okay. Holographic technology. Oh, yeah, man. So, holographic technology. So, what they have now is, have you ever heard of the talking laser? You look it up. There is a laser that has now been created from the military that is now public knowledge. So, 30 years ago, we had this. That the laser beam, the light beam, will actually talk to you.
Oh, fascinating. Is it like a telepathic communication with it?
It's like it's a laser communication, but the beam itself has structure and can talk to you, like you're looking at a person. Like you go up to a military fence. Now, the most heavily armed military base in the world. If you're going up to the fence, it's either going to be electrified or it's not going to have anything on it because they don't want you to know that they're there. Okay.
Sometimes that's the biggest one, is hiding in plain sight, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
And after that, it's like you walk up to that fence and maybe there's nothing on it. Then all of a sudden, you can't see anything, okay? You can't see the light. You can't see the laser talking to you, okay? But you can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the environment that laser beam gets directed at, okay? You're walking up to the fence and somebody tells you, back up or I'm going to, boom.
Yeah.
And you're like, where did that just come from? And it keeps doing it. Are you going to keep going, or are you
No.
going to back up? Exactly. It's a deterrence mechanism, but it's holographic.
Right.
And
So that's another military defense kind of thing,
yeah.
right?
They also have holograms that are now you can touch,
Right.
that are real, like structure wise.
I found the picture. The automatic writing.
Yes. Yeah, that is what I'm writing. If anybody would please tell me what the heck it means, because I have no idea. I've been writing probably books of these, and I have no idea what it is. Somebody told me it was Enochian, Egyptian. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I just draw them.
What do you think, Jen?
Yeah. I mean, I think that there's a lot of languages that are coming through right now, and they might not even be things that we necessarily have, I'll say, anymore here.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I know you wanted to talk about my my hybrid daughter as well. So
Yeah.
since he, Fogo Pogo, he brought up the Palladian writing.
Yep.
Years later, after getting out of the military, I started. I don't want to say hearing voices because that seems like I'm crazy, but
Well, it's telepathic communication.
I was hearing something in my head at that time, and I didn't know what it was, and I was like, "This is not my voice," and it's telling me, "Do this, do this, do this," and I'm like, "Okay, all right. Well, it's nothing that's going to harm anybody. It's nothing bad. Okay, well, I'll do this. I'll start the podcast. I'll do this. I'll do that." And eventually I started doing CE5 with learning meditation and really, really getting deep into nature itself. I'm actually have a doctorate in metaphysics. Yep, that would be my doggy in the background.
Yep.
I have a doctorate in metaphysics and a yes. And I'm also a Wiccan high priest.
I'm a Wiccan high priestess.
Oh, thank you.
We have a bit in common.
Yes, we do.
Because we also both have these hybrid children.
Yes. Now, when I was doing the CE5, and it was years later, I knew this, and I was like, okay, she's telling me do the CE5. She's going to show me who she is. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So I started doing CE5. I started doing the meditation, started doing the yoga, everything. And it worked. My hybrid daughter is, she's been seen by many people actually too. The CE5 group that I was in, I think there was 10 people out of, it was half of them saw my daughter and drew her. I can actually show you guys, later. I didn't have the, picture around, but I'll show you what she looks like. And they all drew the same thing. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh my God, like it happened. And it was real. She was beautiful. Mantis.
She's half mantis?
Yes. Half mantis, half human. Blue tintish skin with, I wouldn't say scaly, but like maybe oily would be the word. Oily skin. And she showed me messages along the way after I started listening to her. And it has been a ride ever since. I've been having, all these things happening. I have communication with her. I have, section state director for MUFON. I have that going on. So I'm, investigating sites. Then I'm going with Project Contact now as the lead field research officer, and going out and trying assisted consciousness with machine assisted consciousness. And we're doing, we're trying to do everybody else wants to send out a signal and just say, here I am. I don't think it's going to work. Now, what if you were to send out an emotional signal?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We figured out how to do that at Project Contact. Yes. We figured out how to mend and blend EEG, EKG, and the brain waves that are going to be generated through the hemisync method, through the visual, audio, or magnetic ways that we're going to, attempt to try. And we're going to make contact. We will. I know we will, because we're not just sending a message saying, I'm here, talk to me. It's going to be, I am here. I love you. Come down and see me.
Yeah.
And they're more than likely going to come down. And hey, I don't have a camera. I don't need a camera. Come down here and have a communication with me. Yeah. No camera, no video. I don't need all that. I just want to talk to you.
I'm looking forward to having that in physical intro to my daughter as well.
Yes. And that's what we're trying. So we figured it out. We've already got the initial funding. We're building the machine as we speak. And trials are actually starting for the frequencies on the 17th.
Nice. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and that's it. Even with all of the channeling and all of that, I mean, you were there for the messages that were channeled during the Galactic Ebb, and the emotion is what really comes through.
It is.
Not to say the words are there and the messages and all of that, but it really is those emotions and that ability to tap into what is being felt and having that unified.
Yeah.
Being able to really connect those. And so I think this is a fantastic thing that you're doing, and I'm excited.
And I also saw, which me and you, the podcast actually, we're both extraterrestrial embassy, for the extraterrestrial embassy. I'm actually partnered with them as well.
Yeah. So Jen and I are both ambassadors with them.
Yep.
Now, do you work with the Galactic Federation at all as well? Are
yes.
you working with them too? Yeah. Okay. We are too. So, and that was part of why we all kind of connected on. We met on Discord, you guys, on the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact on their server. So we were having a chat and realized we had all these things in common. So yeah, I actually have a picture of the embassy for the embassy project up here.
Yep.
So that's it there. So this is the embassy. Ooh,
they actually, awesome. From my understanding, they have funding already, but they're looking for a place to build. That's what it is.
Yeah. So what's going on right now is that the president is working with different countries at the moment.
Yep.
To find expropriated land, because they have to be able to have the land not belong to the country. It has to be in trust, so that when they come down, it's theirs, because any embassy has to belong to the country or peoples that it's built for. And so that's what they're working on. So I believe they're talking to about 3-4 different countries at the moment. And of course, that's very hush-hush. We can't share any of that. Even if I knew it, I wouldn't be able to share it, but I don't even know it.
Same here. Same here.
It's very close to the cuff, right? So they're working on that. And they're supposed to be starting as soon as they get that ironed out. The business plan is to have it in around the 2030. So, but I think I'm hoping that they will.
Well, I'm
rush
hoping
that
all
a
the
little bit.
partners get some invitations to go and see it when it's finished, because
It's going to be
I
amazing.
would probably empty my bank account to go. Like,
Yeah, it's going to be pretty amazing. And the whole design was downloaded as well, of course, and so that's pretty cool. And it's supposed to be this really modern kind of safe space that's going to create that contact,
yeah.
the open contact. Even if they come out before, it should be a safe space for them to be if they're here, if there's any issue.
Oh,
right.
Yeah. And by the way, Project Contact is actually in active communications right now with the ET Embassy's communications officer.
Ooh, very cool.
So just a little snippet of information out there to put that out there, because we do have that out there that we're working on right now as a second partnership with Project Contact to the ET Embassy, but we're still working on the logistics of that. But that would be huge to work with the ET Embassy to facilitate the communication.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Jen and I have been in contact with ETs for a number of years now, as you have. And so working with the Galactic Federation is quite an honor to be able to bring those messages through. And I'm sure that your daughter, is involved in that as well.
Yes. She is, she's almost like a middleman, middle woman.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of got thrown into it. She wanted to be closer to me for some, ungodly reason. I'm not, that curious, as a human, but I guess she thinks so. So,
well, she's not been brought up here, so she's curious about your way of life here and everything, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, what's he doing?
She's very concerned. Let me put it that way. She sees the way the Earth is going. She's told me that you're doing the exact same thing that we did. Exact. And I said, oh. And then she showed me. And I'll tell you, it's something I never want to go through again. I had that nightmare for years of a planet that was destroyed. Used up natural resources. The atmosphere was on fire. The core of the planet was unstable because they couldn't make enough energy, so they went to the core, and they messed with the core and the gravitational. Then then they had to leave the planet.
Yeah.
That was my first image that I had of my daughter's home planet.
Now, what was her home planet? Was that in
the Draco?
The Draco
constellation.
Yeah. Jen had a similar experience in her Lyran life. She was in that.
It was something I saw, I felt, I heard, the emotions that came with it was just, I couldn't even tell you.
Jen's had those
soul.
Jen's had some of those flashbacks about Lyra.
Yeah.
When Avalon was blown up by the Draconians. So she's familiar.
Yeah, it's not an easy, there's nothing that you can do or say to make it better, but exactly what you're saying, this idea that we're on a path to have the same things happening here. And I think that's part of, and I know, we've talked about this, I don't know if you're familiar, but like the book that I have that's almost ready to go. And it talks about that. And it talks about, there's so many parallels from that life to this one. and so many lessons that we can learn about doing things differently and not falling to the same patterns that have
Yeah.
caused destruction over and over again, right? And we're being given right now an opportunity because so many of us are seeing it, right? Are seeing what happened and what could happen again. And the more that they allow more of us to see and experience that, the more people are going to go, no, we can't repeat this. We cannot continue down this path.
Yeah.
Can't.
That's why it's important for us to get the stories out, like your daughters and like Jen's. And I was there too, but I wasn't like near the planet. Jen actually saw it happen. So we lost our parents on that planet in that lifetime.
I was pretty close. They were able to escape with 5% of their population.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hence why she is half human, half mantis, because they had lost the actual ability to reproduce.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I had mantis beings arrive in my backyard one day. And so, they're amazing. Amazing
Oh my
beings.
God, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. The people that met my daughter will tell you themselves that she is a giggly bag of fun. That's beautiful. It was funny because I'll just mention her first name, but in the CE5 session, we had this girl named Laura, and she's drawing my daughter, and my daughter is telling her how to draw her, saying, "Nope, you got that wrong," and started laughing at her. And I was like, "Yep, that's exactly how she is. That is exactly how she is. It's fun, giggly. She actually, it's not a. She gets the emotion from the human side. She's not a regular mantis being. She's emotional. She can't. She can't be.
Well, she's got some of her dad's genes,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is awesome.
Absolutely.
My daughter's part Pleiadian. She's half Pleiadian, so she's got that giggly aspect as well. They're pretty bubbly beings, the Pleiadians. So, yeah.
But she told me, she said, "This is a breaking point in your life." And I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "You're either gonna do this, what I tell you to do, or you're not gonna have a good life after this." And I said, "Oh, well, I'm listening." So
yeah, and that's when you started the spiritual stuff.
I started everything. Yep, spiritual, getting into it deep, and getting more connected. And it was wonderful. Every step of the way was just another wall that got broken down. And now it's like I could talk to her anytime I want.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's another thing that she said. That you're meant to guide people. You're not meant to be here and be in the shadows. You're meant to guide people to eternal peace. And I said, okay, well, what do you want me to do? She said, start a podcast. I'm like, okay. So I started the Galactic Family. I was like, all right, well then I'll make a family. I was like, I'll make a galactic family on YouTube that is based on love, trust, honor. You come on, tell your story. There's no bias. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
You talk to lizard men, you talk to angels. It's all the same thing.
It is.
It's a being that has connected itself to you in a meaningful way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I did. And then I started the podcast, did that. Then the podcast actually led me to Project Contact and the ET Embassy and all of that. And it was just like, now I'm so so full of life because so many things to do.
Yeah.
The ETMC project, the communications, making meaningful contact with ETs and extraterrestrials are it's in my bones, and we're gonna make it happen. I guarantee you.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're coming.
Yeah.
They're coming. The meetings we've been at recently with the Federation are pretty impactful. They're
Well,
coming.
they can't wait to be here, but
Yeah.
they need us to get ourselves together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
They're guiding certain people, though. They are.
Exactly.
They guide, they guided you guys to start your community as well.
Yeah.
And said, well, do something. If you're don't just sit there, do something. And you did it.
Yeah. Well, and the book that Jen has written,
Yeah.
they've been guiding me to write the Pleiadian version. Jen's writing it from the Lyran. And so I think that we're all working on our little projects
I'm actually
to educate, right?
Yeah. I wasn't going to bring it up because I'm not actually finished, but I'm writing a book too.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
My ethereal journey through the ethereal realms.
Beautiful.
It's called The Sleeping Entity.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah,
That's
I think
great.
it's so important for these messages to come through.
They
And
are.
I say that, and then they're like, yeah, hello, that's why we're pushing you to do this.
Jen's struggling with a little bit of pressure from her guides. They don't understand the whole editing and the whole marketing.
Well, because time and space, right? They're not stuck to it. Stuck to it.
Yeah.
That's why they keep bugging me to do it, and I'm like, with what time?
Yeah, time doesn't work the same way here.
No, it really doesn't.
It's wild. It's wild. Although I have had incidents, and I've had it on multiple occasions where time has been stopped. I'm just plugging along, and it's been 10 minutes, and I've written a chapter, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what kind of time warp they put me in that moment, but it literally stopped because I know I can't write a chapter.
It is all relative, right? It really is, for sure.
But
Yeah,
I've had.
So that's what my daughter does. Her name is Ariana.
Ariana, beautiful.
Airony. Ariana.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Mine's Celia.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Not one I would have picked for her, but
yeah.
And my baby is Annabella.
5-minute warning. Uh-oh.
She's Tanis was there when she was born.
I was.
That
was an interesting day. Jen was in labor. I'm like, what's going on? She literally gave birth to her energetically. So
it was pretty wild.
Yeah.
You know what? My mom had a hard time with me. 7.5 hours later, here I come.
You didn't want to come out.
Listen, it was warm. I was cozy.
Exactly.
Kind of pushed me out. My safe space.
So we have our 5-minute-ish warning.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
right.
Our 5-minute-ish warning is always because we give the audience home play, not homework, home play.
All right.
So Jen has cards that she picks one, and it gives you something to focus on for the week. Do you have any? Do we want to do the projects first, or? Oh no, go ahead.
Well, this is the deck, right? So Seeds from the Sacred Feminine that we're using.
Yeah.
And I had the card kind of fly out at me. So, we're going to use it.
Yeah.
Smile at a stranger.
Perfect. That's what we should all do.
All right, here we go, guys. Have you been feeling grumpy or out of sorts? You may be forgetting your connection to your relations. All of nature is in harmony with itself. The wind shares its joy by blowing. The raspberry bushes express pleasure by birthing its fruit. The human being's way of expressing harmony is to smile. A smile is contagious and effortlessly leaves you and returns to you. Honor that cycle. When you greet the day, look around and acknowledge your neighbors. You are all connected and your joy is needed in the world. Let your smile lift another's day. Surprise someone with the gift of your grin and see how it affects you. When you smile, your spirit shines through your face and reveals your gentle beauty. Remember your place in the great circle of life and rejoice with your relations.
Beautiful. That's awesome.
Well, and it's, again, you can't make this stuff up, but even just that idea of connecting with the cycles, right? Honor the cycle. And that's exactly the transits that we're in right now. Honor the cycle, right? And hold space for the possibility of joy.
And all the discombobulation.
Hey,
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around.
And what can help with that? A smile and some laughter.
Exactly.
No, somebody asked if I could drop the link in the channel, so I went and dropped it.
Oh, perfect. I was just
Thank
copying it.
you.
Yeah. It's also down in the write up below, guys. Okay. So smile at a stranger because they could be an ET.
I like that.
Perfect. Yes. And we want to say hello to everyone that arrived during the podcast. We've got Shem in here. We've got Hypnocity, Sonia. Welcome to you all. We were in a hot topic, so we were focused today and working on some, getting some galactic messages out there for everybody. Do you have any events or anything that you'd like to share, Jason?
We do have an upcoming event with Rob Goutreau. He is a spiritualist and connector of spirits from the other side. We will have him on. Let me check my calendar here. That'll be the 7th, so Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Beautiful.
Eastern Standard Time. And then after that, May 7th, tentatively, I'm trying to have someone on from First Nations talk about ancient histories, petroglyphs, and things of that nature. And then on the 17th, we're actually going to be doing our first Project Contact field exercise live, as far as trying CE5, different frequencies. I have a high power generator with a omnidirectional antenna, night vision, thermals, the works, the works of equipment. So we're going to do that on the 17th, and that's going to be a trial run for different frequencies that we're trying to. And I don't like the word summon.
No, we're going to ask and invite. Beautiful.
That is the way we are doing it. I'm inviting them down to have a conversation.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
And Jen?
You can find, and also you can find us on, it'd be www.projectcontact.net. And that is the actual project website for the technology assisted consciousness exploration website. And everything will be posted there. We don't do anything like Jake Barber's team. Everything will be live streamed. Everything will be out in the open. If I don't get anything, it's still a trial run. We're still negating frequencies that don't work. That's a good thing. Right. That's science. But if we get something, you will see it live, no cuts, no edits, no nothing in the field. Beautiful. That's the difference between the shows that we're creating. And it's not going to be a show. It's going to be an educational transcript to show people, hey, here's our website. There it is. Here's all of our technology. Everything we've created that we perfected, there it is. And here's the signals to make contact yourself. We're going to do all that because
transparency.
It should not be a government-only communication.
Oh,
Having
absolutely.
that,
Yeah.
it already blows my mind that it could blow up the world. And then some. So we just need somebody neutral.
Yeah.
Somebody that has no affiliation with nobody that can go and be mediator.
Diplomacy.
Not me. I don't want to be the mediator. I have nothing to do with that. I'm just gonna I will facilitate the electronic assisted communication method to make the contact.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
We all have our roles.
Yeah.
We all have our roles, and it takes all of us to do it. So
I
it's all good.
I do guide people in different realms if they need it, but I don't like to go that route because I don't like to have my face out there. I don't want to be the face of the movement. We're all the face of the movement.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Excellent. Jen, what have you got going on this week?
This is actually a busy week for me. Normally, I don't have a whole lot going on other than my normal sessions, but tomorrow I am on with Zen Beneficial for the Apocalyptic Chats, One World in a New World. It's at 2 p.m. Eastern. As far as if it's going live, if it is, it's going to be on his channel. I don't know if it's pre-recorded. I haven't actually talked about it, but anyway, that is happening. And then I think we have Galactic Gab.
We do.
On Friday.
Yeah.
And so we'll have that Friday at 7:30. And then, the other thing you're also doing with me, we're going to be doing together is the Holistic Healing Fair on Saturday at the Nepean Sportsplex. So anybody who is local is welcome to come and say hi. And we'd love to see your smiling faces.
Absolutely. And that's pretty much what I have going. So
I know I need to get some energy work done. Oh boy.
Well, I know a few people.
Just a couple.
I train people in that. We have a whole team, hun. We can chat. We can chat.
Okay.
Yeah. So we want to thank you so much for coming on, Jason. We really appreciate all your knowledge and your experience. Insight.
It was a pleasure to be here. It really was.
Thank you
And
so
anytime
much.
you guys want me to come back, I'm more than happy to come back and give you updates of different things that we're doing Project Contact.
Beautiful. We'd love that. That's awesome. And for all of you that joined us, thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you know when we're up and about and doing stuff to all the channels. You will find the info below. And we're looking forward to seeing you next week. Same time, same place, or Galactic Gab. 7:30 on Friday. We'll see you soon. Have an awesome week, everyone.